as it needs to be. Branding is one of those things that can align a company. It can help you build out core values and culture and let people know what your company's about. I think branding's really important. And if I were looking at branding companies, I would want to know their entire process. Don't get caught with a bait and hook. Don't go with someone because they're going to give you a cheap price to come up with some names. Work with someone who tells you exactly how the process is going to work all the way to the end.
Hey everyone, Ricciardi here, CEO and founder of Branding for the People. And today we're joined by Craig Handley of ListenTrust. But he's more than just ListenTrust. He's actually an author, a good friend, an entrepreneur, business owner, so multi-layers. But today we're going to be talking specifically about our work together with his company, ListenTrust. Craig, welcome, man.
Hey man, how are you? I actually put on a shirt for you. I've been working from the house so much and I've been out by my swimming pool a lot. So I'm out by my pool. I'll jump in the pool. I'll work. And so all my Zoom calls, people are like, "Are you wearing any shorts, or are you doing this call without anything on?" And I'm like, "Just use your imagination." I don't know.
All right, we'll keep it as it is. So, all right. So for those listening in who don't know ListenTrust and what your company does, can you just kind of give the high-level overview of who is and what is ListenTrust?
Sure. ListenTrust is we're a call center, but we're more of a marketing company, a sales center. As an example, like our average seat creates over 6 times the revenue than other call centers do and I only know this statistic because we're actually working on selling the business, and somebody did the formula and said your average seat makes 6 times the revenue of other call centers. So a big selling feature, I guess. But
Nice.
Because we teach all of our agents how to sell, and as a result, we do about 150 million in sales for our clients, take tens of thousands of lead gen calls, tens of thousands of customer service calls, and we just have an amazing team of salespeople that happen to operate over the telephone at ListenTrust.
Sweet. And I can vouch for that because Craig did give me the opportunity to fly me down to Hermosillo to visit.
What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
That's right. What happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. What was the question I used to start off with is, what was the problem that you were trying to solve prior to going through the branding process with ListenTrust?
Our company name was Listenup Espanol. That was the problem we were trying to solve, because as the Hispanic market had aged, they were absorbing content more in English than in Spanish. And so a company that we were doing 15 million a year in Spanish phone calls with all Spanish operators, and we started to do English, but even my best friends wouldn't refer English business to me because they think of us as Listenup Espanol. And
Right.
And our revenue had gone down a few $1 million because of that. So we were trying to make sure we brought that revenue back up. And the way to do it was through English services, customer service, English sales. And so we needed to make sure people thought of us, for something other than Spanish in order to kind of bring in that revenue. So that was the challenge.
Okay, cool. So it started off with a naming challenge. And in fact, you're in my book. We did the whole case study, right? But it started off with the naming challenge. It was Listenup Espanol. And then you wanted to figure out how to break into, English speaking, getting English speaking contracts was there anything else, or is that primarily it? And then or did I uncover more problems for you to solve once we went through the branding process?
No, we actually met with 2 other companies. We had actually paid money to 2 other companies. And it just seemed as though we have some varying personalities within our business. We have my business partner who is more formal. We have a sales guy who had his opinion, an operations guy, a finance guy, and then myself. And I'm probably the weirdest one of all. And in some circles, because of my creativity, just being honest, I mean, one of the branding guys thought that they had to come up with a name of the business that would somehow mask the fact that I owned it. It was almost as if, well, Craig's the big, people say, Craig's the big problem in this business. And I know that's not true, but it kind of got into the branding guy's head, that was a problem, that I was a big challenge in the business. So if someone was agreeing with me, it almost seemed like my business partner was offended. If they were agreeing with him, I was offended. And
that's always a challenge for a lot of businesses. Yeah, I was going to say that's a challenge for a lot of businesses when there's a lot of different personalities, strong personalities, all trying to come together to create a singular brand.
Yeah, it was both of us wanting to put our identity into the business in some way, and it was difficult for us to kind of come to a conclusion. And then it wasn't just the branding; there's a back end to this, and a lot of the branding companies we spoke to, we gave two money before we met you, but a lot of the ones we worked with, like one of them, we didn't know that we were going to give them X number of dollars, but for them, that was just the lead magnet.
Okay. So in your case, we actually did pretty much everything with the exception of like programming your website. Maybe, I don't even know if we actually did the website design, but we did the whole renaming, the brand strategy, the positioning, the messaging, the visual identity. People love to hear, okay, that's great. What kind of outcomes or what kind of results have you been able to experience since we went through the rebranding process?
Well, I mean, today we take more English calls than Spanish calls, and we're successfully growing our English business. And that was, of course, something we knew needed to happen. We've worked on a couple of, we worked on some video together to kind of discuss what the company was about. I remember, really, for me, the culture of ListenTrust was uniquely important to me, because a lot of the things we've done in culture, and I know you paid a lot of attention to that, and in all the work we've done thereafter, it's been a big point. And of course, coming up with ListenTrust, one of the things we wanted to talk about was how, when you work with us, our agents will listen, so you can trust us to execute. And so there were a lot of things that we talked about that we've been able to continue to push into the brand. That's been pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, so you continue to grow and you have a name that allows you to attract more of the ideal clients that you want. And has that, and you know what's interesting that I'll say, just for those listening in, because I'm hearing a lot of themes around this when I interview clients, is that you continue to refer back to the work that we've done. And I would say that it helps to even inform some of the ongoing decisions that you're making for the ListenTrust, the business and the brand.
Yeah.
Like, how do you put a price tag on that?
When you enjoy the process, you become a bit of an expert around it,
Yeah. Well, there you have it, Craig. So I look forward to working with you again on some other ventures. I look forward to hearing more about where you're taking ListenTrust, and just thank you for your advice and your wisdom for other people who might be on the fence about going through the branding process.
Yeah, and anybody who's on the fence and wants to call me directly, you can certainly pass along my information. I would always be happy to refer you.
Well, there you go. All right, there you have it. Craig Handley of ListenTrust. Appreciate you, brother. And I look forward to speaking to you soon.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.